All right, what's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Armon, and we're back with another video. Get in here, get in here. It's time to get into some things, okay? All right, so interesting conversations happening over the last couple of days in regards to P. Diddy. Obviously, you have a lot of people that are upset. Obviously, you have a lot of people that feel like Diddy is guilty, Diddy is wrong. But then you also have, celebrities coming out like Phaedra Parks saying that Diddy is innocent until proven guilty, which I understand. From a lawyer's perspective, she had to say that. And that's how you're supposed to be as a defense attorney. You want to protect the client, and that is her job. So I get that. But then you have these male comedians coming out. Well, Faison Love, then you have Little Boosie, and they're coming out speaking as if Diddy is being charged for being a freak. Faison Love took to Instagram and was basically saying, hey, if Diddy did, the things that he did to Cassie, yes, he should go to jail. However, where is it a crime to be freaky? And is there a limit on being freaky? And, I didn't know it was a crime to have baby oil, niggas get ashy. Basically saying like, it's not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. Little Boosie comes out and says, Diddy is being, executed pretty much for things that every person with power and money has, or has done pretty much. Like anybody that has money, anybody that's busy, any celebrity, they fly escorts out, they fly out, they fly people out to sleep with them and have parties and freak offs and things like that, right? And kind of making light of the situation and making it seem like Diddy is being dragged or Diddy is being indicted based upon his, activity or what he's into. No one is questioning or making a big deal off of him wanting to have the freak offs. Yes, that's entertainment. Yes, we're entertained by that. That's interesting because it's men and women and he's into there was over 100 different identities. People, some identified as a man, some identified woman, he, she, we, they, trans, whatever. You're into whatever you're into. Yes, we, the people, are going to be entertained by that because it's like, whoa. You hear the rumors in Hollywood about, people doing a little something strange for some change or do something strange for an opportunity. So when you see it manifest in real time, especially with a powerful person like Diddy, it's going to be the talk of the town. Now, when we get into indictments and we get into charges and we get into jail time, we're not going to sit up here and act like we did not see that video of Diddy kicking and Cassie in the hallway. And it wasn't just a domestic dispute. This woman literally ended up settling a $30 million lawsuit. Diddy settled with her because he didn't want all that evidence to come out. What was attached to that whooping that Cassie got was a freak off. Okay? A lot of these people are not reading the documents. And it's like, listen, y'all know me. I am not the type of person that goes along to get along with the popular narrative. I'm always getting canceled every other month when it comes to stuff like this. Because me, I'm like, well, I'm not going to go on the popular side and just go at the masses and say a person is guilty or just deem a person as bad. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. Diddy is not being charged for being freaky and kinky. That's not what this is about. What this is about is you're making people unwillingly participate. Even if they consented one time and they didn't want to consent again. You cannot drug people, you cannot coerce people, you cannot hold opportunities over their head. You cannot hold job opportunities over their head. You cannot threaten their livelihood. You cannot threaten their lives just for your own sick fantasies. That is the problem. It's not the actual act of him having. It's the fact that when people want to get away, they can't. When people want to get away, their career ends. When people don't want to do it, they come up missing. When people want to get from under Diddy, they end up. That is the problem. So I don't understand why these men are making it seem like, oh no, the world is coming up on Diddy because he's a freak. No, he's a freak and and he's controlling and he's doing it in a dark and dangerous way. I don't care if the person was 66 years old. People talking about, oh well, it wasn't with minors. These was all adults. It does not matter. You don't get to these women. You don't get to them women when they want to leave. You don't get to hold them hostage. You don't get to try to coerce them when they want to speak out. You don't get to threaten them. That is the problem. The problem is Diddy felt untouchable. Diddy had a issue, and unfortunately, he did not get that issue dealt with. But the reverse happened. He became extremely successful and extremely rich. And so his issue that once was a small issue, the money, the fame, and the power magnified a darker energy in him where people wouldn't tell him no because they wanted success. They wanted fame. They wanted the career. They wanted the connections. And then you feed that into, you give that type of energy to someone who has a sexual, kinky, wild addiction. Well, you're going to feed that and they're going to fall. They're going to use that as a form of control and they're going to swallow you up. And that's what he did. That's power. To break someone down and sexually, take advantage of them and manipulate them. All because they want this. You want this from me? You got to give me that. It's a power trip. Diddy was on a power trip. And he was trying to break spirits, break souls, and break holes. And that's the problem. The man is guilty. The man is wrong. I don't understand why we keep trying to justify what he did. It wasn't about just being a freak. He was abusing these people with his power. And he was making them, even if it turned out to be consent, it really wasn't consent. People were feeling forced to do so. Even if they really didn't want to, they had to consent because they wanted the career. They maybe just wanted to be alive. Maybe they just didn't want to get beat. We got to act like, we cannot sit up here and act like once you get into a certain matrix with a person of power that they can't find you, they can't stop you, they can't catch you. Do you know how long probably Cassie was trying to get away and try to find her way out? But when a man like Diddy has so much money and you have so many people working for you and you're feeding so many people and so many people are depending upon you for their livelihood and their relevancy and their connections and their career, do you think that they're going to aid and abet a Cassie getaway or any other person, any other male or female that's trying to get from under Diddy? No. They're going to take that check and do what Diddy says and make it hard for you, whether that means put you up in a hotel room, turn a blind eye, call the right persons to off you, get connections with the jails, the police, whatever. When you're dealing with a billionaire, they have a lot of power and they have a lot of people under them that's willing to say, yes, sir, whatever you need, even if it isn't the right thing to do. But they're not going to sacrifice their livelihood, their lives, or their access for you. And so I'm not understanding why people are acting like, it just was sex. No, it wasn't that. This was a cult. He was trafficking these people. This is a RICO. He felt like he was God. And if anybody would try to test him, would try to leave him, he would make them pay. Because once you got caught in that web or that matrix, he owned you. Are we going to ignore the fact that he would make people do weird stuff on camera and hold the videos as blackmail? Are we going to ignore the fact that he has those tapes? Are we going to ignore that he has the tapes where he would make people, he would record them and then he would surveillance in and watch them from a distance? That's weird. That's not freaky. That's control. That's manipulation. But people want to sit up on the internet and try to throw that under the guise of being freaky. Nah, that ain't freaky. That's crazy. That's weird. That's wrong. That's criminal. You're spying on people. You're making people do lewd acts for your enjoyment, and you know they really don't want to do it, but they want the career. They want or hell, they just want to be alive. Or they don't want no problems. Or if you've now coerced them into doing something, now you're using it as blackmail. That is the problem. The problem is when they try to leave, they get kicked and beat and drugged down the street, drugged down the hallway, and then manipulated into not calling the police. That is the problem. The problem is when you go and hit somebody and beat somebody, then you go and try to pay the hotel $50,000 to give you the tape so it doesn't come out. That's the problem. Then you come out and lie about it. That's the problem. And you've been doing it for years, taking advantage of people behind closed doors for your own freaky, kinky fantasies. That is the problem. I'm not understanding why it's so hard for these niggas not to understand what the issue is here and why this man is in trouble. You know, it really drives me crazy when I start to see people talk, because this stuff is like, what? Are people just trying to go against the grain just to go viral? Or just like, because this is not the right side. Everybody knows, even before this came out, that Diddy was on some weird, and not just a freaky, but on a weird power trip. Let's not even talk about how he was robbing every group and every act he had blind. Let's not talk about how Shine did 10 years in prison for the man. Let's not talk about all the things that Diddy has done to people's careers. All of this is coming back to bite him. And to me, if you ask me, all of this has to do with an undertone of sex. He would try to control people through sex and money and their career. That is why it's bad. It's not just, oh, I'm into this. No, that was a form of power, manipulation, and control. And you can't do that. You cannot do that. And so I'm not understanding why niggas don't understand that that's not cool. It's not cool. It's not just, oh, I'm a freak out. And to Boosie's point, I'm so flabbergasted that Boosie is even defending it. It's home. Boosie is. He talking about, oh, Diddy flying out. No, the pussy was already there. Diddy was flying out and what? No being flown out. The booty was being flown out. And he would watch. That's what was being flown out. And so I'm just flabbergasted at the fact that Boosie is just so Team Diddy when all Diddy was doing was having men fly in, butt bandits fly in with masks on. So it's a weird injury out here. And the other thing is too, this dude settled that case with Cassie. There's obviously something there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. The feds literally uncovered a lot of evidence. A lot of evidence. So I don't understand. And then people, well, it's the baby oil, 1,000 bottles of baby oil. That sound, what I guess that is for the free cost, but that just sounds like you don't need that much baby oil. That sounds like a business. Why do you need that much oil? Because you're orchestrating this production that everybody's not in on, but they're forced to be in on it if they want to have a career. And that is not okay. That's not okay. And so I'm not understanding why everyone is so confused. This is not about Diddy liking to see and ass. While that's funny, it's more about you forcing everybody else to be in it. You forcing people to get high. You beating people. You're threatening people. You feel like you can just go and grab somebody by the You think that you can just, drop something in somebody's drink and get them so high for 3 days so that you're fulfilled. Then you can watch them from your surveillance cameras like some type of freak while they just screw like rabbits. You're on a power kick. Very demonic, dark energy. It's like a demon. That's what it's giving me. So, for me, he's definitely guilty. I'm not, there's nothing about this that screams innocent. It's disgusting, and I believe it 100%. And after seeing what happened to Cassie, I know everything she said was true. And I don't know. I don't see Diddy getting out of this. And I believe that the feds, they have a strong case or they wouldn't have picked him up, period. And then the fact that you're sitting there calling people, trying to convince them to lie. What do they need to lie about? Why are you trying to tamper with witnesses? Why are you trying to have different stories be put out? Are we not going to talk about the alleged blowing up of Kid Cudi's car? Like, there was a lot of things that this man did rooted in sex and control. So I don't know if these people are not reading the documentation or they just talking out of turn, but Diddy was a monster. And he had a addiction. And he would use that, and he would use his power and money to control people and feed his addiction. Period. That's it. And that's why it's bad. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Why do y'all think people are defending them? Let's talk about it. I'm interested to see what you guys think. And until next time, keep that same energy, and we'll see you soon. Peace out.